Hi everyone, it's me again, your friendly neighborhood Sabera, and welcome to Greek Memories of Azur. This is a relatively recent release by Navigante Games, an indie studio out of Latin America, Mexico to be precise, I believe. This is a Team 17 publication. They're the same people who did Overcooked and one of the Worms. They published one of the Worms games too. Very cool people. This game is sort of Metroidvania-ish, but you only get new movement powers by finding your missing siblings. There are three in total. You start with the titular Greek, and eventually find his sister Adara and older brother Radel. You control all three of these, so this is a little bit part Metroidvania, part Lost Vikings. We're going to go ahead and get started on this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Was actually the original Worms dev. I did not know that. That's awesome. Um, this is Greek. Of the three siblings, he is by far the fastest. He has this little dodge roll. It's a little bit Souls-like in that the dodge roll is also has significant iframes. He has a double jump as well. We're going to be spending a lot of time dodge rolling in this game. The double jump is actually really useful for preventing us from staggering when we fall, because this game does have a stagger if you fall from too far of a height. Very Symphony of the Night of it. I got really used to, from Axiom Verge, not having fall staggers, so that was a new thing to accommodate for, but you can use the double jump to blunt that. You can also get coyote frames with your dodge roll, though we play with VSync off because it actually makes the game run faster enough that it is noticeable, but not so fast that it is a ridiculous uncapped frame rate. It is a little bit weird that happens. In this opening segment, this is kind of a tutorial for Greek's basic movement. So the game does teach you how to double jump and things like that. And then you hit this bridge, and we immediately turn around and go as left as possible so that we can fall as fast as possible. And when we do that, we are going to wake up in a dream sequence. And this is going to teach us how to interact with our siblings. So we are very shortly hereafter in this dreamy dream. Spoilers that this is a dream. We are going to find our sister Adara. And that is how the game is going to teach us how the sibling mechanics work. So this is Adara. She does not have a double jump. She can hover. And she doesn't have a sword. She has magic that she can fire, and it eats into her hover, and her attacks are on the same meter. Ooh, that was a little bit clunky. One of the things about this dream sequence is, because it is a tutorial for the sibling mechanics, whenever the game wants you to do something with your sibling, like it wants you to press a specific button to interact with them a certain way, it will freeze your characters. So if you don't hit those buttons on the right cadence, that can be a little bit of a problem. We're going to go ahead and a lot of the sibling puzzles in this game do revolve around having one sibling hold down a button while the other sibling goes and finds a way to them. And so we're going to be doing a lot of that in this. In this, we have the only instance of a block puzzle here. It turns out it's faster to jam the mechanism here and just have Adara take a hit from the gate as it comes back down than it is to do the puzzle the intended way, which is to push the block onto a switch and weight it down. The game, once again, froze me a little bit until I hit the regroup button. So what regroup does is it holds your active sibling in place while the other siblings nearby run to them. And so that is useful for gathering everybody and stacking them up all at once. At the end of the dream sequence, Greek is found at the bottom of a waterfall, wakes up in town, and is basically being cared for by this woman over here. Riem is going to give us some soup to eat. she won't let the conversation progress until we've healed at least 1 life point from the soup. So we want to eat the soup as fast as possible and then talk to her right as we recover 1 point of health. It's very important not to talk to that knight in the bed who found us because he talks for a long time. He just talks for a really long time. And like, I'm very grateful to him, but we're going to save the game to spare ourselves a lecture from a guard outside. And now we're forced into this conversation with Tauros. Tauros is building an airship. So the main story of this game is that the Korans, these little elf-like things, just kind of spawned out of nowhere in this continent, Azur, which was previously only populated by the plague-bearing Urlogs. And for a long time, the Korans were the dominant society after they spawned, but then something happened and the Urlogs turned the tide, and now all the Korans are leaving. And in order to leave, they need airships, and in order to power their airships, they need these special stones called primeval creeps. In order to, and so they're building an airship, and they're trying to get the creep that they need. And so we're mostly concerned with finding our sibling. Oh no. But in the meantime, we're going to help the people of Raven's Road Camp build their airship. And so what Tauros wants us to do for him right now is to find him some rope. And so we're gonna go help Tauros find some rope. We need 4 pieces of rope. So far, we've picked up 1. And one of the tricks that we're using right now to help us get rope faster is that if we attack, oh, that's gonna be bad, isn't it? I'm not gonna make. Am I gonna make that? I'm gonna make it. Okay, great. Is that if you pick stuff up, you can animation cancel by attacking during the pickup animation, which can allow you to move a little bit while you're picking the item up. Now, the dialogue that pops up does then cancel your animation cancel. So that is something to be aware of. But we are going to be able to use that in a couple of different places. There is also an animation cancel. You can do the same thing for doors. So I can attack and basically cancel the door walking animation. And this is really good because you can get hit while you're walking in and out of doors, but if you animation cancel, you can basically fight and protect yourself while the door movement is happening. Oh, geez. So we're a little bit low on health here. We're gonna heal ourselves with a mushroom again. I'm gonna stop for a little bit of safety health. Just right. Oh, wow. And I'm gonna get hits to just completely cancel out that safety health. So I'm gonna do a little bit of fighting on my way back to try and pick up. There we go. I got a random health drop. 3 health is gonna be enough for what we need. But we've now picked up all 4 of the ropes that we need, and so we're going to be able to go ahead and move on back to Raven's Road Camp, where we will be able to turn in this quest. When we turn in this quest, Tauros is going to ask us to go to the Vega Marshes and get him some gas, because you're not going to fly an airship without gas. Like, we need these special stones, but we also need fuel, basically. So we're going to go ahead and talk to Tauros and turn in the rope. And he's going to ask us if we want another job. And, you know, jobs are for suckers, but we do also want to not get eaten by Urlogs. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, in previous versions of this run, I actually used to stop and buy some whetstones here, but it turns out that all of the whetstones that you need can be found along the route now, due to a particular glitch that makes it useful to open treasure chests, which I will explain later. In fact, not in the too distant future. So in order to get to the Vega Marshes, we have to go through the Zindra Forest. We're hoping for a little bit of good RNG as we make our way into the entrance of this. There is going to be an Urlog scout over here, and depending on how he moves, we might not... No, we do have to fight him. So that's a little bit slower. If he dodges away from the door handle so that he's far enough away to not hit us, you can just go through that door without bothering to fight him. Please, thank you. But he was not kind to us that time. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. We're going to go ahead and pick up some spare healing items along the way. As we proceed here. So a lot of this area is really just an interstitial area, and we're not going to go the most efficient route to the marshes, because the most efficient route to the marshes misses a fast travel stone that we're going to want later. So we are actually we're gonna come here. We're gonna fall a little bit to the left. That's the fast travel stone. We're now all set. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to pick up a couple more healing items just to be super, super safe. And good thing that we did, because my sword did not go out there. And now we're going to enter into the Vika Marshes. You have questions about the availability of rope in this world? You know, there are lots of questions about this world that go unanswered. So now we are in the Vika Marshes. There are a lot of these little vine things that we have to whap with our swords in order to get them to retract. And now the first boss fight. Oh god, this boss is really annoying because this fight is very, very heavily RNG. So these things teleport. The scouts, the little humanoid things, and then they disappear. And making sure that you kill them as fast as possible is really hard because it's not like they appear in somewhat random places. So yes, and so this is the pain in the butt of this fight. So I'm now out of crossbow bolts. So I can't attack him from a distance anymore. Yeah. This fight is really just kind of annoying this way. You can get lucky in terms of where they appear. Sometimes you get a good chase and you whack them a whole bunch. But it is very heavy. See, he wasn't supposed to run that way. But there is a lot of RNG involved in this. Okay, so now we can take our Silver Crest and put it into this, which will open the door. This game is gorgeous. So that was a particularly rocky fight. Usually it's not that bad, but he was very insistent on running in very unpleasant ways that time. So this is a fast travel stone. We're actually going to be using that one as well in the not too distant future. The water physics here are a little bit weird, such that you can actually accidentally clip into this log and drown if you're not careful. So I try to be a little bit cautious. So Greek's special power is actually not his dodge roll or his double jump. His special power is his ability to crawl through small tunnels. Neither of his siblings can fit into small tunnels. And that is very, very important to the overall way that puzzles are laid out in this game. That Greek's ability to move through those tunnels becomes a limiting factor in who can solve particular puzzles and when. Here we're using these light generating beams and reflectors to get around. We're gonna skip a lot of these puzzles because we can. And so by climbing up there, we are able to jump up from the platform. There is supposed to be another puzzle to make that moving platform move. But by skipping that, we can actually just go and pick up Adara. Now, I did forget to do something, so I'm actually going to have to run back a little bit with her, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. It's not too far out of the way. But we now have Adara for real. So we can solve sibling puzzles. They get an adorable little hug. We love to see reunited siblings. Adara is also going to help us murder these scouts who are terrible, as well as all of these other things. So as soon as this is done, we can grab a magic jar. We're going to go ahead and come back down here. We are going to go ahead and place another jar here and fill up. I already pulled the lever. All right, we did take a little bit of a hit there. That's not that big of a deal. Okay, so now we have to go. We now have to go and get our third jar. So getting our third jar does involve one of these sibling button puzzles and whacking a vine. And then we are going to go over here where Adara is going to help us across this a little bit. And now we have to do another reflector puzzle. This one is a little bit okay, so that should be right on that, and then we do this to get that light going on there, and then Greek can go in here. Now, in earlier versions of the route, we didn't get the third jar from here because there is a second boss fight in this area. And on the way back from that boss fight, there's two of these, so you didn't really need to get this jar. But then I found the glitch. The glitch is a big deal. We're gonna take a real quick safety save over here, just in case. So basically, what we're gonna do. Oh, actually, I don't even need to take Adara with me. Is I'm gonna run Greek quite a ways back. But all the way back here to this tunnel. So this is the thing that's stopping Adara from going to the fast travel stone so that we can go home with our gas. This is the reason why we have to go through with our boss fight. It's all because Adara cannot climb through these tunnels. She can't go through here. Greek can, she can't. However, we can teleport her to a treasure chest by switching to her at the very same moment that we find the treasure chest, or open the treasure chest, and now she's outside the tunnels. So this is called chest warp. It is one of 3 different remote interaction glitches in this game, all of which I found independently. And so now we can teleport back to Raven's Road Camp using the fast travel stone and completely skip the second boss fight. And coming all of the way around. So now we're going to go ahead and talk to Tauros and turn this in. Valgor, we're gonna go talk to Valgor, who is gonna give us another quest. We're actually gonna go ahead and eat a little bit because Greek could use some extra health. Valgor is gonna give us a key and some metal to smelt into ore. Because giving 2 kids your extremely valuable metal is an absolutely smart and safe idea. We're going to run back to this stone here, and we're going to teleport back to the Zindra Forest, because the Zindra Forest is our access into, the Zindra Forest is our access to Lyser Fortress, which is the place that we are going to smelt our metal. Now, this is a little bit of a, oh geez. Okay, that was not correct. Wait. We're gonna do this as 2 separate character movements at this point. Come on, Greek. I know you can do it. Come on, buddy, pal. This is a little bit of a tricky jump, but it is actually, even missing it, faster and safer than going around that little spewing plant that was over there. So even though it looks a little bit fishy, it's actually pretty optimal. We are going to have to clear these things out because we are going to have another crank puzzle here. Greek is going to open this so that Adara can swim through, and then Adara is going to find another crank on the other side that Greek can come through. And unfortunately, because that enemy is in a pesky place, both of these are, they do both have to die. So we're going to go ahead and bring Greek in from the other side. And now both of them can gain access to Lyser Fortress. And we are going to need both of them in Lyser Fortress. We do, strictly speaking, need both siblings. There are a lot of puzzles that we can solve with just Greek or just Adara. in this game, and we do that whenever it's possible to. But Lycer Fortress, while it does have a couple of little skips in it, is actually one of the most impregnable parts of the game. There it is sort of an interesting experience in that regard. We're gonna go ahead and bring both of our characters in here, and now, oh boy, nah, that's fine. I'm gonna leave that there. So Adara can float up here. She's not actually supposed to be able to make this jump. Unclear why she's able to make that jump, but you're supposed to go around a long way and do some sibling puzzles to get over here. But we do need both of them for these cage weights over here. Greak stays over here while Adara goes and picks up a gear that we will need to open a door. We need 2 of these gears. So there are a couple of different places that we are going to go in order to get them. We'll go ahead and pick up our sibling over here. Now, it is faster to go over this way than it is to go the under way that we're supposed to go under and around. So we are saving a little bit of time in both directions on this skip. We're gonna go ahead and leave Greak here. Adara can do this this portion of this room by herself. She can just kind of float over here. We are supposed to have to wait those cages down in order to get past here, but she can just do that. But the second portion of this room, Adara is not able to complete by herself. So we do actually need to do the cage waiting over here with Greak on that one. So on both of them, we do have a little bit of that required sibling attachment. So we'll have her grab this gear. Now Greak does need to make his way over. And we can take the 2 siblings out of here. So Adara is holding the gears, so we do want to select her as our primary character because she's the one who's going to need to interact with the mechanisms. The key items are not shared between characters to prevent you basically from acquiring a key item with one character and then using it or turning it in with a different character. So that you do actually have to like get the appropriate person into the appropriate place. We're going to be defying that logic later, but for right now, we're just going to be a little bit careful with fire. And so let's see, we're going to go ahead and we need Greak. Greak needs to be able to ride this up, but Adara does not. Adara can get up here all on her own by herself. She's a big girl. She is Greak's older sister, so it's maybe not that surprising. And then we are going to go ahead. We want Greak to be the main here. The next boss is a little bit tricky, so I'm going to take another safety save. It is easier to fight this boss with only one character, but it is slower. You do 50% more damage if you have both of them. Whoop! One, two, three. Second jump, third jump, let's get away. 1, 2, and 3. 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, get away. 1, 2, 3, and whale. Oh, and down. Okay. That actually went really well. That was a good fight. So now Adara needs to lower this in so that Greak can put the metal in and pull the switch. We can both kind of come together and pick up the Lorien metal. And then Adara is going to have a vision of their brother. in a snowy place, and there's a fortress of a statue of a soldier. It looks like a fortress. Um, and all right, cool, good, great. We're gonna have to go find him. Um, we're gonna pick up this whetstone on our way out. The reason that I'm leaving Adara behind is basically, as I mentioned, Greek is the faster of the siblings. So we're gonna move him a little bit faster, and then we're just going to. Oh, it did not work this time. That's fine. I messed that up somehow. That's fine. Not a big loss. This is a little bit of a minor optimization, but not a big deal. So now we can go ahead and leave. We can leave the fortress. One thing is that although there is a chest outside in Zindra Forest, it's not particularly useful to us because you can only use chest warping when both siblings are in the same area. You can't use it if they're in two different zones. It doesn't work because the game has a prompt that comes up that asks you if you want to load into the other sibling's area. So you can't do it across loading zones. That cancels the efficacy of the chest warping. So we do have to run back. This is pretty bog standard running back. We're going to go back to the fast travel stone and then, through back to town to go ahead and turn this into Valgor. But then we're going to do other shenanigans, and that's going to be super fun, which I'm pretty excited about showing you the rest of the glitches in this game. There's a lot of shenanigans from here on out, except for like the very last two areas of the game where all of the shenanigans are just like precision platforming. So now we can go back to town. And in town, we're going to go ahead and we are going to talk to Valgor again. We're actually going to bring our sister with us. And we're gonna go ahead and turn in the quest. And then Valgor is going to tell us where this temple that she saw in her vision was, but was like, well, you didn't hear it from me. But it's in a place called it's Arcantos Temple. So the glitch here is we want Adara to be able to go through this area that we skipped opening up because we didn't come out through the boss fight in the Viga Marshes. So we're basically just going to go ahead and walk her through a wall by talking to Valgor with Greek while switching to Adara. And so what happens is when you do that, the game has a scripted walk over to the X coordinates of the character that you're talking to, and it thinks that Adara is doing the interaction. So Adara does the scripted walk, and that walk ignores collision. So she just walks through a wall. And now here's this random guy. We would have run into him on the way back from Viga Marshes if we'd actually gone that way, but we didn't. All right, whatever. We're going to leave Adara there for no particular reason. There's nothing special about that at all. Anyway, Arcantos Temple is past this area called Sork Ashen. And the bridge to Sork Ashen is out, so we need to find a way to actually get into Sork Ashen in order to be able to get to Arcantos Temple. So we're going to go ahead and, just on a hunch, we're going to go take a look at where the bridge is supposed to be. And see if there's anything interesting there. Just a hunch. I have this thought that if we go over there, maybe we'll be able to figure something out. And there's this guy here. His name is Yensi. And Yensi's like, hey, I've got an axe and I could chop this tree down into a bridge for you if you could find my friend Farvin. But Farvin's pretty distrustful, so let me give you a letter to give to Farvin. And so... basically, what we are going to do is remote interact with Farvin. Now, Greek is actually, we're actually going to have to walk a little bit of a ways till Greek is in a safe place, because if we do the remote interaction from all the way over there, Greek can get knocked out of it by taking damage. So you do still take damage while you are in that scripted walk. But once you're over here, Greek will walk all the way over and talk to Farvin from very far away and give him the letter from very far away. And Farvin will be like, all right, cool, you know my friend Yensi. Why don't I take you kids back over to Yensi and we can chop down this tree and build you a bridge? But I don't know why Yensi needs Farvin at all. Look how much more damage Yensi has done to this tree than Farvin. What even is Farvin doing here? Come on. Just come on. But now we have a bridge into Sorgashen. Because we were able to talk to somebody from very far away through our sister. Sorgashen represents a little bit of a hardship for me, because if you were able to cross that gap without having to go through this sequence, if you were able to cross that gap and make it to the fast travel stone in this area, there is a fast travel stone in this area, and get both of the siblings in to the upper part of Sorgashen without doing any of the rest of the quests in the game first, then that would you would get to skip all of those quests. Because the quest where you find Radel works even if you haven't done any of the previous quests. I found this out by save hacking, but I haven't found a way to do it yet. So now there's supposed to be a whole bunch of ice puzzles in here, and we're supposed to use these torches to solve them. But actually what we're just going to do is instead use our torch to fly. This is a trick I call Firefly. And it would be nice if I could stop messing it up. But basically, by doing this, you are able to traverse. Oh no, really? Traverse this area right over here. And make your way to the puzzle that is to the ice block that is actually the shortcut that's supposed to let you return from Sorgashen. Instead, it's not supposed to be an entryway. Oh my god. All right. Okay. All right. New plan. Okay. Here, you actually pick that up. So I'm going to chest warp Adara over here, and then Adara is going to hold this wheel up here. Big wheel, keep on turning. And we're going to start our Firefly from over here. This is a little bit easier to do and more consistent. Oop. Oh no, you are joking. This is going to take us back actually a really long way. I apologize for that. We're going to have to redo like fairly large segment now. I don't know how that happened. I do apologize about this. This is like more or less fine in terms of estimate, because the glitches take so much time off of the run that the 110 estimate, like, we're still gonna come in under that. That was a bummer though. Oh no, please. Oh god. Okay, jeez. That was very narrow. Oh boy, that was... Whew. All right. So we're gonna see a vision of our brother again. I am really pressed. I actually don't know how that happened, but we're gonna safety save the next time that we get there to prevent more tragedy like that. Oh boy. All right. We're not gonna bother with the chest warp optimization this time. We are just going to move on. We're gonna move them together. We'll this up here. You can go ahead and take that small elixir so that you have some more healing in your life. And make our way back out of here. So this game, there are no other active runners of this game right now. If anything about this run appeals to you at all, I do suggest checking it out because we currently have 2 other people in the Discord for this that are interested in running it. It's a pretty game, and I think, aside from flubs notwithstanding, it is a really fun and also Adara makes some cute sounds sometimes when she's jumping. I've never heard her do that before, but first time for everything, I guess. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do this again. Oh boy. All right, so we're gonna get back to town. We're gonna turn it in. One thing that I did forget to mention, which I'm glad that I have the opportunity to talk about again, is that the remote interaction glitch that we use when talking to people has actually a fun name. I call that spooky banter at a distance. I'm proud of that name. I'm also proud of the Firefly name because that's a really good pun in my opinion. But no, hey, no, I did not actually want to do that. But can you please not? There we go. All right, spooky banter at a distance. So we'll go ahead and take her back over to Farvin, who we now know is not just some random guy. Sorry for the spoilers. And we will go ahead and make our way back into Sork Ashen one more time. Bronze gasp. Bronzo, you gasping. Oh, that's Prawns D. Prawns, you D'ing? Wait, that's weird. So once again, I'm going to ask the question. Why even does Yensi need Farvin? I find this mystifying. It is like not clear to me why there is value in having Farvin there, because he does almost nothing when it comes to cutting down the tree. But, whatever. You've had coworkers like that before. Yeah, no, I've had coworkers like that before too. I don't begrudge them that because work is a racket, but you would still not cut the tree without them? All right, that's fair. He wants him there to impress his BF with his wood cuttings. Okay, all right, okay. I buy that. That tracks. So yeah, once again, we are going to get Greek over to a safe space. Womp womp. Safe space. Oh no. What? Oh. Come on. Could you please? Oh, I was doing it the wrong way. That explains everything. Womp womp. All right, there we go.
Whoa.
All right, now with the cutting down of the tree. Farvin is the old curmudgeon and Yensi is the, like, bright one. So it stands to reason that Yensi would be the one who wants to impress Farvin and not the other way around. I like that headcanon. Thank you, Chaya. I appreciate it. All right, back to Sorkashin one more time. All right, so let's try this again. Pick up some healing berries along the way. And also, we're going to go ahead and take a safety save right here so that nothing bad happens. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and turn the wheel up. Send Greek over here, and now begins the flying with the fire. Blup, blup, and done. All right, so that's what that's supposed to look like. And then, yes. So we go ahead and do that again. Adara, please. And so there is a fast teleport stone, a fast travel stone in Sork Ashen. So if we were able to get one of them in here and then fast travel the other one in somehow, we would basically be able to skip the entire quest line leading up to Lyser Fortress and just do this, which would cut a huge amount of the run out. But so far, I haven't found a way to do it. But so welcome to Arcantos Temple. Arcantos Temple, it also has lots of really interesting ice puzzles, most of which we are going to skip or circumvent by using Firefly. We're going to go ahead and set this here, and then have Adara join back up with Greek. We're going to leave Adara right there, and Greek is going to go ahead and do a couple of things. Fireflying there is just for speed. You move slightly faster while you're fireflying than you do otherwise, because carrying a torch is slow. So now that we've got this this route open, and you're supposed to have to go around the long way, like go to the left and then come back around to the right to be able to get here. So fireflying back there is actually a skip. We can do this little area. Now the reason that I have to bring Adara here is because of this. So Greek can't get up there by himself, but once he's up here, he can basically just firefly the entire way across. There's a big back and forth puzzle with the ladder that you can kind of see down below, and we're basically just going to skip it. Can you please pick up the torch? Greek, what is going on? Greek. Greek, please. Wow. Greek, what are you doing? Greek, stop. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna bring our sibling over here. At this point, it makes more sense to just do that. You can Firefly up there. You do have to rebound the torch against the wall and continue to pick it up a couple of times so that you can get enough height. But I was just having some trouble with the rhythm of it this time, I guess. We can leave Adar there. We do not need to take her with us. It is in fact faster not to. Anytime we can do something with Greek by himself, we would rather. Greek is by far the faster of the two siblings. Okay, right. I got a little bit confused about where I need to go, but it is down here. So now we have to use this boat that's down here. So normally you would have to hit the switch again to raise the water level once the brazier is lower. But Greek, please. Pick up the torch, please. There we go. You can use Firefly to get through there by that. We're going to go ahead and pick up this whetstone. And I believe that gives us all 3 of the whetstones that we need for this run. Yep, we have all 3 of them. All right, great. We're going to outrun those birds. And Firefly here to light that brazier. Firefly up through those to avoid having to move the ladder. And then Firefly across to light this brazier. So we picked up a sun crest. We're going to pick up a moon crest now. And now over here, we'll just teleport our sister over to where we are, which was why we could leave her there. And now we have to deposit the sun crest, deposit the moon crest. And that lets us into the garden. Now, there's a whole bunch of interesting torch puzzles on the right side of the garden, and we won't be doing them because we will be doing the last Firefly of the run. So there's much, basically no room for Fireflying trouble at this point because this one's a pretty straightforward carry across. Greek, please. And now we are going to light this brazier. That's going to save us a little bit of time on our way back. And just jump over that guy and head in here. And through here, we are going to find an altar in Arkantos Temple. And the Arkantos altar has places for Korans to put their hands. And we need both siblings here to put their hands here, and that will trigger a cutscene where we will reveal the light seal. And the light seal is the key to a tomb that has one of these primeval cribs in it that we need to power the airship and get out of Azur. Meanwhile, our older brother Radel is also raiding Arkantos Temple in search of the light seal. So Radel has a hook shot. It can be a little bit of a pain to use, but it is definitely there. We're going to make some pretty good use of it. Radel also has a shield. However, Radel's armor is very heavy, and so Radel cannot swim. So Radel needs to hook shot across water or otherwise jump. And we need to use these switches here to lower the water to get Radel into an area where he can pick up a key that he needs in order to make his way to the Arkantos altar where the light seal that he's looking for is. Now, Radel does not know that his siblings are here. So he's really just here for the light seal. So using this key allows him to access that switch. And allows him to move on. And when he arrives at the altar, he finds a horrible sight. His younger brother is knocked unconscious, and his younger sister is under attack by an Erlag Frost Lord. We can use Radel's grappling hook to rip the shield away from the Frost Lord temporarily. We'll then basically repeat the same jump over and over again. Basically, we can just kind of wail on him like that and set Adara up. And then we want to check on our brother. Hi, Greek. Are you okay? It turns out that Greek is okay, and we share a big sibling hug. Hug. They're so cute. So thus ends the glitched portion of the run. We will not be using any glitches for the remainder of the run. Important hug hours. Who's up? There are there are no more places to chest warp. There are no more places to use spooky banter at a distance that really work in the run. Radel has to grapple over those, but the siblings, the little ones, can swim across. And as soon as we get to the exit of Arcantos Temple, there'll be a little conversation with them, and then we'll basically cutscene our way back to camp. We don't actually have to walk all the way or use the fast travel stone. We basically just Adara guides them through the mountains, even though we really could have just walked a little bit and used a fast travel stone. This is good. This is faster. We get back and we find out that they sent an expedition to the Varain ruins to use the water seal to pick up a primeval crib. But the expedition didn't come back. And they're like, hey, you missed an Erlag assault on the camp. We've got to get the heck out of here. Can you go find out what happened to the expedition that was supposed to bring us back our power stone that we can use to power our airship? And we're like, yeah, of course. Absolutely. It would be our pleasure. And so we're going to go ahead and run back out. And so we have to go back out through the Valora waterfalls into this area to get to Varain. And moving in tandem with 3 siblings is more complicated than moving in tandem with just 2 siblings, because Radel is larger than Greek and Adara, so his hitbox is different. It collides with terrain differently. It just causes all sorts of weirdness. So when we're trying to move with them together, we do have to periodically stop and regroup to make sure that that we get everybody all in one spot. Now, the Varain Ruins has lots of really interesting puzzles. Radel's shield gets used to block lasers. There are lots of places that involve swimming, which of course Radel can't go. You have to send Greek and Adara in order to do those. There's a big kind of labyrinthine circular path through this, and we are going to do very little of it. It turns out that there are a couple of relatively convenient skips. I'm going to take a quick safety save there just in case. So Radel can grapple onto those little floating orb things. And please all come together. you can hit those bells to make them into platforms that the little sibs can use. And so some of those platforms and places that tunnels that Greek is supposed to be able to only Greek can crawl through and all of that stuff are gating factors in getting everybody out of here. But it turns out that so Radel is up there. He passed by a door, which is where we have to get all three of the siblings. But it does turn out, so Adara is supposed to swim through here and get, oh geez. It's a good thing I took that safety save. Greek just drowned because Adara stole all the oxygen. Adara is supposed to go around there by herself and open a switch for Greek, but it's actually slightly faster to take Greek with her. But unfortunately, if Adara steals all of the air bubbles, then Greek can just like straight up drown. So we're gonna do that again. So I'm gonna go ahead. This time I'm gonna call out. So this door, this big door right here, has 3 spots for them to place their hands. It's like that altar back in Arcantos that we went through. Right, I'm gonna make sure that Greek is in front this time. Adara is a much stronger swimmer than Greek, so she has a much longer lasting oxygen meter. So, Greek takes 2 hits here, but makes it through. And so I need Adara over here. I need you here. And now Adara can make these jumps up here. And now Adara is up by the door. Only Greek is theoretically able to make his way through this. Well, only Greek is actually able to make his way through this tunnel. But Greek can't make the same jump up there that Adara just made. But what he can do is crawl through that tunnel and hang out on that vine in a very specific place. And when Radel rings this bell, he can make a jump right over here. And now we're done. We are done with the puzzle-solving portion of Varain Ruins. Greek is going to go ahead and drop 2 whetstones for Radel to pick up. Greek needs 1, Radel needs 2. And now we can basically just pop all of our hands on here and open the door. And this is going to take us to where the expedition was lost. So we'll find we'll find in here that basically they got ambushed by Urlogs. This buff dude over here, the Urlog Conqueror, stole the primeval crib and wants to use it to eat our faces. So we're gonna go ahead and stop him from eating our faces, ideally. And one of the things that we are going to do in order to make that work correctly is use some whetstones. So what whetstones do is, for our 2 sword users, they make their attacks do 1 more damage each. So there are these bells here. And the bells, if you use them right, stun the boss. Please let go. Stop. All right, cool. That was actually a really good quick kill overall. If the boss hits you with his sword, he stuns every character that he hits, and then he can encase them in cocoons. It's not real cool, but I was basically able to get enough hits off on him to kill him before he cocooned Radel. When we come back here, we talk to Morella. She's real sad that that dude died. Understandable. Death is sad. But she also guides us right back to camp. And from here, we are able to talk to this guy here, Zach, and he'll take us to the final dungeon. Now, in order to go to the final dungeon, we actually have to go through a little bit of an auto-scroller. They call this an interactive cutscene. So there are these riding animals, Boscos. They're basically armored giant guinea pigs. They jump. They're real cute. Like, look how cute this thing is. And so we basically dodge back and forth to avoid running into these barricades, and jump pits periodically. Holding the analog stick to the right, does make the Bosco move a little bit faster. They're called Boscos, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, which is an incredibly cute name. So we are going to be doing that the entire time. You can hold the left stick to slow the Bosco down if you are having trouble avoiding obstacles. But it's not a big difference either way. This really is just kind of an auto-scroller. It's a nice little relaxing time. The music here is very pretty. Do take it in. This game is gorgeous. It's so good. And if you like what you see here at all, I do recommend buying it, even if you're not interested in speedrunning it, because Navigante made a really beautiful game, and I would like to see more games from them. I would like to see more story in this universe, because they take their airship and they fly out to another continent called Cineraz. And like that's it. That's where the game ends. Like we don't get to find out what happens to them after this in this game. But now we're in the final dungeon. The final dungeon is Aldalar Labyrinth. So what's going to happen basically is after we after we get into this area, we're going to use the light seal that we picked up at Arcantos Temple to get into Aldalar Labyrinth. And then in Aldalar Labyrinth, we're going to be separated. We're going to be forcefully separated as we all get teleported in to the dungeon. Basically, there's going to be 3 barrier stones that we have to break to make our way into where this primeval crib is stored. Now, in theory, we are supposed to use all of our siblings to accomplish this. But 2 out of 3 of these puzzles can be done with Greak by himself. And so that is actually what we are going to do. So this area right here, right, Adara is the strong swimmer, so she's the one who can do this without taking damage. But Greek only takes 1 hit going through that. Come on. And it is possible to make this jump with Greek. And it's not even extraordinarily hard. But so that is barrier stone number 1. You're supposed to use Radel over there to hookshot up to that. But getting Radel over there is a real pain in the butt. And I'll show you why in the not too distant future. See, the idea in this labyrinth is that there are kind of 3 broad separated segments of the labyrinth that are not easily accessible from one another. They are separated by 2 main things. One are the crawl tunnels that only Greek can get through. And he's, kind of the linchpin of the intended navigation of this. But also, there are these teleport stones that the siblings are supposed to use to swap places with each other. So you put, one sibling's hand on that teleport stone, and then another sibling's hand over here, and look, they've swapped places. And getting everyone to the various teleport stones where they can swap places, it takes a long time, especially on the left side where there's lots of lots of little crawl tunnels that Greek has to go through in order to get back and forth to different places, and like getting Radel all the way to the left side and then pulling him all the way back. It's really labor intensive. And over here, Radel is supposed to oops. Radel is supposed to hookshot over here so that he can teleport Greek over here, but basically by taking a damage boost up there, Greek is able to make the jump all by himself, and this will lead us to the second barrier stone. So like I said, 2 of these 3 stones, just precision movement with Greek gets us through them. And every time you break one of those stones, you get a healing point as well. Now, there's one more barrier stone. We're going to open that with Adara and Radel. But we are also only going to take Adara and Radel into the final battle. It is actually faster to do that than it is to take Greek with us. Even with the additional damage that Greek does, it is faster to do this with just Adara and Radel, because navigating Greek back takes long enough, and he doesn't do enough additional damage to make it matter. The reason that we need Radel for this third puzzle is because of lasers. Only Radel can stop lasers. And we're going to use Adara to solve part of this puzzle because she's there, and Greek is in sort of a weird place. Nope, we got to pull this a little bit farther over. And then we're going to intentionally send her back there. As for Radel, he's going to go ahead and do that and hit this and then intentionally drown. Because he... Oh, geez. Where is everybody? Oh, no. Okay, there we go. You can actually move during that cutscene, it turns out. If you can do the blind navigation for it, you can get quite far back. We're going to go ahead and pick up an extra point of health. We do want Adara to be at full health, just to make sure that nothing bad happens during the final fight. We are going to use our final whetstone here so that we get a little bit of extra damage on the last boss. And then we will go ahead and pick up the Primeval Creep. Success! We can power our airship. But unfortunately, that stone was preventing a whole bunch of plague from manifesting. So now we have to fight this plague abomination. So the Plague Abomination is actually not a particularly difficult boss. When it does this, you just kind of tuck yourself into this corner over here and wail on it. And then it will also do this, which you jump over and you make sure that you're well positioned to kind of attack it. And, we're going to go ahead and get a couple of extra hits in like this. It does shoot this web thing. We're going to have to clear some of that out. And it is over on this side again, so we're gonna pop ourselves into this corner again, and once again we're gonna wail on it. And attacking up over there does give us a little bit of whoop and a little bit more wailing. This boss does have movement RNG. I soaked a hit there to be able to kill it. Plague Abomination is dead, and now we are going to have this escape sequence here. These Crushers do deal damage. They're not instant death, mercifully, but they do hurt, and you don't get that many hit points in this game, so we're going to try to avoid them. So the reason that we left Greek where we did is basically he's on our way out. So we're just gonna pick him up along the way. There's like not a super big reason to take him with us. So now we have Greek. All three of the siblings have met. You cannot trigger the final cutscene and end the game if you don't have all three with you. So this switch that I just pulled to let me out of the labyrinth, it doesn't work until you've beaten the final boss. So once you're in that labyrinth, if you save in there, that's it. You're in the labyrinth until you beat the game. The final cutscene trigger is coming up, so we're going to be at time soon. And time. That is Greek Memories of Azur any %. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that it was fun. That big death was not super ideal, but I hope that I was able to showcase just how much cool stuff there is in this run, and it is a really awesome game. And now there is this beautiful cutscene, which you can see for yourself when you beat the game yourself, which you're gonna go buy, right? I hope you'll buy it. This was made by some really great people who put a lot of work into it. The devs were super interested in my speed runs of it. They thought the glitches that I found were really cool, and talked with me a lot about the game. So I do I would love to see more stuff by them, and I hope that you would too. Thank you again, Fastest Furs, for having me on for both of these runs. It has been super fun. It's been super fun running for y'all. Y'all are a great crowd. And Happy New Year. Just hope y'all have a great 2022. Thanks so much.